Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Friday. We made it through a whole week. We've been learning about bugs this week, and every day you've been reading a different story about a bug. So we read the very grouchy ladybug, the very busy spider, the very lonely firefly, the very quiet cricket, and today is our very hungry caterpillar day. So I thought it would be so fun to do some arts and crafts with our very hungry caterpillar. So I have 3 different ways that you could do this craft. You can do one of the ways, you can do all 3 of the ways, you can do a different way if you want, but all I'm using is a paper plate. So I took my plate and I cut it so that I have the 2 pieces on the ends that if I flip them this way, it looks like a caterpillar crawling. And I have my middle piece from my plate that I'm also going to use for my arts and crafts. And all the supplies that I need is a toilet paper or a paper towel tube, some red and green paint, or some dot paint. So first I'm going to try my dot paint, and I want us to remember what colors was our very hungry caterpillar. His head was one color and his body was a different color. Does anybody remember what color his head was? His head was red. So his head was red and his body was, does anybody remember what color his body was? His head was red and his body was green. His body was green. So those are the colors I'm going to use for my caterpillar because it's the same colors as in the very hungry caterpillar, but you can use whatever colors you'd like at home, okay? So his head was red. So I'm going to take my red dot paint and I'm only going to do 1 dot with it because only his head was red, not his whole body. All right. There's my hungry caterpillar's head. And now I need to do his what? His body. So here's my green dot paint, right? Green, because that's the color of his body. I'm going to do the rest of my caterpillar with green dot paint. And while I'm doing this, can anybody remember how we say the color green in Spanish? So this is how we say green in sign language. How do we say green in Spanish? We say verde. That's green in Spanish, verde. So here is my very hungry caterpillar with dot paint. And once all of my paint is dry, I can put cute little eyes and a nose and some antennas on my caterpillar, but I gotta let him dry first. So I'm gonna put him over here. The next thing I'm gonna do on my other side of my paper plate is use my fingers to make a very hungry caterpillar. So his head is what color again? Red. His head is red. I'm gonna take my pointer finger and I'm gonna dip it in red. And I'm going to use that for the head of my caterpillar. Red. And who can remember how to say red in Spanish? Right? This is how we say red in sign language on our chin. How do we say red in Spanish? Rojo. The way that we say red in Spanish is rojo. Great job. All right. Next, I'm going to use my thumb and I'm going to dip that in the green paint, green, to make the body of my caterpillar with my fingers. All right, let's see. I'm gonna get some more paint. I have to be very careful. I don't want my caterpillar looking wild and crazy. I have to go nice and slow and push my thumb down. All right, now let's see. How does he look? You see all my fingerprints on there? which looks just like my very hungry caterpillar from the story. And so like I said, I gotta let this paint dry before I can put his little face on. All right, the last way that we could do our very hungry caterpillar today is using the middle part of the plate. So I've used both outside parts to make my very hungry caterpillar. Now I'm gonna use the inside. And now I'm gonna use my toilet paper or my paper towel tube. I'm gonna dip one side in the red paint. Make sure you get the whole side in the red paint. So see how the end of my paper towel tube is red? I'm gonna push it on the middle of my plate to make a red circle. Next, I'm gonna flip my paper towel tube over so that the red part is on the top, and I'm gonna use the bottom in what color do you think? If his head is red, his body is green. So I'm gonna dip the other side in green. And I'm going to make his body with this side. And I'm gonna dip again to make sure I have enough paint. And if you wanted to make a big long caterpillar with your paper towel tube, you can do it on a regular piece of paper. But since I just wanted to show you real quick, I'm only making a short caterpillar with my tube. All right, and here is my last very hungry caterpillar made with a toilet paper or paper towel tube. And he has a red head and a green body. All right, so those are 3 fun ways that you can do art with our very hungry caterpillar. Whichever way you decide, I would love to see your end product, and I hope you have lots of fun. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, friends.